Quick question. What's on your TBR? How long is your TBR? How are you feeling about your TBR? I genuinely would like to know if you could comment anything about your TBR, because there's a lot of information in your TBR, you know what I mean? I wanted to make this video for a long time where I rank my TBRs from most to least anticipated. I don't think I've ever fully just looked at my TBR and digested what it means as like a whole collective. I don't think I've looked at them. And I'm excited to sift through them and find out exactly how I really feel about these. And then once I read them, I'll see if the tier ranking was correct. So yeah, let me know how you feel about your TBR. Also, hold on. Hi, yeah. If you could remind them to like this video and comment a favorite TBR of theirs, how long their TBR is, or what a recent 5-star there is. Just a reminder, it would really help out your channel, like a lot. Thanks. So my neighbor, not me, my neighbor just reminded me, if you could like this video or comment something, it would help out my channel so much. Oh my god, I'm trying so hard not to feel manipulative, but like, please. Woo! Okay, I don't know why, but this just makes me so happy. I think it's mainly because a large part of what makes books so exciting and book communities exciting is just talking about your interests related to what you're reading, you know what I mean? That's one of my favorite parts, honestly. Here are the categories, the tiers of how we're ranking this. Ranking. My mom's from Texas, if you couldn't tell. So if we were gonna do this how I rank food, the lowest tier is gonna be like, should I take this off? Like, that would be in relation to maybe like how I would feel about a 1-star. A 1-star to me is like, that's a regrettable experience. Eek, that made me sick. Like related to dining out or like going out to eat. Number 2 was like lowish expectations, aka like that was bland. I don't know. 3, excited due to the hype. So this is like, oh, I know this meal like is good because other people have told me. I don't know anything about this other than people have told me, and maybe it's piqued my interest. Hype could also be like, this was recommended to me through a person or a comment. And it's not like bad hype, it's just like I don't know anything about this other than somebody told me about somebody told me about it. Okay. 4, this is about to hit like McDonald's. Listen, I know this is supposed to be like a 4 out of 5, and typically my McDonald's ranking would be like fast food, like 3 out of 5, but this is about to hit like McDonald's. When you're in the mood for McDonald's, it like nothing nothing can really come close. And you expect something to be good, but maybe there's a little bit of substance lacking, you know what I mean? Like, I'm expecting some of these to really hit like McDonald's for me. I really am expecting good things out of this. And then the top one is 5-star for sure. I have had that in my mind about a book and instantly regretted it. Word to, what the heck is that? First it was The Silent Patient, then it was The Maidens. I really thought that was going to be a 5-star for sure, and I gave it like a 2, which is, so I could be wrong about these, but this is how I'm anticipating all of these. Okay. Let me know, do you recognize any of these? Let me start off with the first one. Honestly, no. I gotta start off with a heavy hitter that everybody's gonna know. The Housemaid. Okay. I'm gonna be honest, I read a Frida McFadden book, and it was called The Boyfriend or something, and it was not that memorable. It hit like every other thriller that was like, I'm excited due to the hype, because I would have, if based off the hype, if I had read a book that like blew me out of the water, that was as hyped up as this, I would have been like 5-star for sure. But I only know about this because other people are saying it's really good. But I'm like, girl, I read her before, and I don't know if it's really living. Is it really? I'm only excited because I know this is like going off and it's becoming a movie. You know what I mean? What I look for in terms of a book, I look for books that are thrilling. I love a good thriller. Thrillers are my favorite genre. I will always come back to them when I'm like feeling low and in a reading slump. Introspection. social commentary, humor, and then grief as well. Introspection, humor, thrilling, grief, all of that. You'll notice that like romance is not in any of these, which is really interesting because I do love yearning. I love when a character is yearning. Speaking of, if you read the book My Husband by Maud Ventura, and you liked it, you might know that she's coming out with another book. Unless it's already out, I don't even know. I haven't even checked. Called Make Me Famous. I loved her book so much. I loved My Husband so much that I am like, this gotta be a 5-star for sure. I don't even know really what this is about. I just know about somebody who wants to be famous. And I looked up some of the books beforehand to like refresh my memory, but I think half of the fun is being like, I don't even know what this is about, but I really expect it to like, oh. Let's go into one that's more serious. 100 Years History of Palestine. This about to hit like McDonald's because learning and knowledge and growing your perspective will always hit like McDonald's to me. There's this one book called Something Crazy. On a normal day this is crazy or something. Okay, this book. Should I take this off? I genuinely don't even know why I put this on. I think this was in the very beginning when I was like, I just need to put some things on my TBR so I can have a TBR, you know? I have no idea what this is about. I don't have expectations because I don't know anything about it, you know? We'll see what that's about. Okay. Next. Needy Little Things. Needy Little Things. This is a YA thriller. I found out about this through a comment. I don't know anything about it other than it was recommended to somebody who commented on my channel. Thank you very much. And I'm looking forward to it because it was recommended, and it seemed like it was recommended with passion. If people okay, here's the thing about me. If you recommend something to me with passion, I am 80%. Like, I am 80% convinced to read it. The 20% is like, I don't know, is it really in my taste, or are they just excited? But it's like, if you have like excitement about a book, I want to be on that same wavelength, and I will be. So I'm excited to do the hype. Okay. Let's do I'm a Fan. I heard this book was about a stalker, and it seems fairly short. I don't know how dark of this is for me to admit. Wow. I studied communications and I don't even know how to speak English. I don't know how dark of this is for me to admit. I still can't even say it a second time around. I had time to think about that. But when you get into the mind of somebody who's obsessive and like stalker like, that makes for a good book. That makes for an interesting perspective. I love it when we get a little bit like unhinged. This is about to hit like McDonald's. I have 2 books on here that are about sex. It's crazy. I have been married for the past 3 years, been sexually active for much longer than that. And still, for me to just say sex on like camera, like even out loud in my own apartment, is hard. And that's why we need books like this to help us destigmatize one of the most normal things on planet Earth. That a lot of people are doing. Sex. Okay. This book called She Comes First, I think, is about centering male, or whoa. I'm gonna give up on this video. I can't speak at all. This is about centering female pleasure, because male pleasure is the forefront of anything sexual when you have a sexual life, if you are a straight woman. So I think this is about debunking certain myths, getting together certain sexual stories, placing emphasis on sexual health as it relates to female pleasure. I am so excited about this book. It's about to hit like McDonald's. Okay. I recently, actually, Libby just let me know this was available, and I had to delay it for like 7 days. Oh, that's always so painful, you know, when you just start a book and you're like, dang it, I was waiting for this book for like months, and then the book finally arrives and you're like, oh my god, dude, oh my god. So okay, Rejection, I've heard that this is a collection of stories based around rejection. That's like the central theme. And oh my god, I'm gonna eat that up. I think I'm gonna eat it up. I think it's gonna be a 5-star. 5-star for sure. Just the way presenting itself to me. I don't know. Like I love stories that are very real in that way. About also, talking about rejection is so incredibly difficult with people you are not close to, dear Lord. So when it comes to books conveying stories of it, it feels incredibly intimate to read and like a treat. This might be a little bit of a shocker, but I'm looking forward to reading, what is it, Born Free Indeed by Ginger Duggar, because I read Jill Duggar's book and it just really, really struck a few chords in my heart. If you're like, why the heck is that on there? You did not grow up religious. As a pastor's daughter, as a missionary kid, God, there were so many things that Jill's book really just like pulled out for me. I really was triggered. I swear to God. I really was. Sorry, my husband just moved and I forgot that another being lives in this household. It really helped me reflect on even how I feel in relation to faith, in relation to deconstruction. So I'm excited to read this. I do not, however, think it's gonna hit like McDonald's, because when Jill talked about Ginger's perspective with their father, it seemed like Ginger was a lot more appeasing to their dad and was a lot more like willing to kind of play by the rules, whereas I think Jill was, you know, like the first one to wear pants and the first one to like get a piercing and the first one to kind of deconstruct a little bit quicker, a little bit more with courage, maybe. No, I don't know. So I'm gonna be honest, this is gonna be my first one where like I'm excited about it. I don't think it's gonna hit like McDonald's. I'm not excited due to hype, because I don't think it has like that much hype the way that Jill's did. I have lowish expectations for this, but it's still on my TBR because I'm very curious to see what it says. Berry Pickers. This is a thriller centered on, I think, a family or a girl. Specifically, the family or the girl goes missing. I don't really know much more than that, but I love a good go missing story. This also seems like it's going to be heavy, dramatic literature. And it's one of those books that I just see everywhere at the forefront of an independent bookstore or even a Barnes & Noble. I'm excited due to hype, because I can't walk into any bookstore without this being like hot picks right now. I can't. And also the cover art looks very beautiful to me. Dag Dance. This, I think, is a book related to somebody in the LGBTQIA. I can't remember if it was related specifically to being a trans person and trans identity, or if I'm confused, but I really like the cover of this. I don't know much about it, but it was recommended by Jack Edwards, the YouTuber. And I have anything that Jack recommends is like higher than low expectations, but it's not like due to hype. I feel like this is about to hit like McDonald's, even though I know so little about it. Yeesh. Caddises by R.F. Kuang. I loved, like millions of others, I loved Yellowface by R.F. Kuang. I, however, did not read Babel. I never really read anything fantasy, not because I'm opposed, but just because I feel like what lines up with the things that I like, it's much more literature, much more thriller, I don't know. But I also haven't really given myself the chance. And isn't this a fantasy? Correct me if I'm wrong. But the way that she writes, I feel feel like it's just about to hit like McDonald's. Like I can't do this because it's like just hype. I'm curious because she has such good writing. Could it also be a 5-star though? It's about to hit like McDonald's, and I'll put it at that. Gonna be honest, this book by Maya Angelou, Think Like a Woman. Who am I gonna say? Oh, Maya. Low expectations. Thanks, Maya. It's not exciting to hype. I mean, it's not gonna hit like McDonald's. Honestly, should I take this off? This was one of the first books that I put on just because I was like, I need a book. I'm like, should I take it off because there are other books that I'm more invested in their stories for, right? Yeah. Okay. The Lost Art of Walking. I actually heard about this book due to, if you don't know Caleb Heron, he's one of my favorite comedians. He was talking about this book on his podcast. The idea seems to be that great philosophers, writers, expertise back in the day used to get all of their kind of prominent ideas, used to brainstorm through walking. You would do a lot of processing through walking, and we have lost that ever since, of course, like being in the office, being more sedentary over the years. So it is the lost art of walking. I am so excited about this. I do struggle though with nonfiction. If I liked it a little bit more, this was going to be a 5-star for sure, but this is about to hit like McDonald's. Riley Sager, With a Vengeance. This book, I can't remember the premise. Let me include a blurb here on the screen so that I don't just talk about this book and you're like, what the heck is that? What even is that? I'm gonna be honest, this is one of those books where I'm not as excited for it from Riley. I really like my Riley Sager books. I really do. But I feel like I have lower expectations for this than I have had for other books, just because the premise, I don't like to read books previous to like the 70s. Oh, it's difficult for me, and this is previous to the 70s. I don't know, I feel like it's just the year, the period that just gets me. I wish I could be a little bit more descriptive. Okay, we have All Boys Aren't Blue, which is the story of a man, somebody who is gay, retelling his story in relation to, I think, reflecting on the way that boys who are in the binary of being a straight cis male have been raised versus when you are not straight and all that comes with that. A friend told me about this, but I am excited about it. Let me just say excited to the hype. We are actually not friends anymore. So a friend didn't tell me about this. An ex-friend told me about this. But I'm like excited because it piqued my interest. Because she told me about it. I don't know. But I don't have low expectations. I have really high expectations for it. And I don't know if it's gonna hit like McDonald's because I don't know anything other than the words that were said to me. So okay, we have In Order to Live, which is the story of a woman's escape from North Korea. I heard about this from somebody who commented it in my channel, and you know what? I almost want to put this in. It's about to hit like McDonald's because I know it will. Like the subject matter being, this is a story of a country that we know nothing about, virtually nothing for real about. I just expect this to be really good and to hit like McDonald's. But because I heard about this through a comment, I almost feel like I should do what I did with the other people. No, okay. I just have to put this at 5-star for sure because there's just no way. And I'm not ranking nonfiction anymore, but I just feel like I'm going to really get a lot out of that. I really feel like when you have a story to tell that is like that and you really put it all out on the line and you come out with a book, it's going to be amazing. Mating in Captivity by Esther Perel. Anything that is related to psychology and sex that I can learn from, I'm excited about this. I'm not excited due to hype because I don't think I even I got it from a YouTuber. Okay, meeting character, this is about to hit like to make a difference. Okay, Identity by Nora Roberts. I'm gonna be honest, I like this. I'm excited about this because it's one of those books I cannot escape. I see it every single time I go into a bookstore. I've heard at least 2 people talk about this. I read like the excerpt and I was like, no. I think I maybe was excited, but then I read maybe like a snippet in the book and I was not that impressed. So this is your classic, this is due to hype thing. Okay. The Art Thief, about an art heist. Oh! The idea of history related to art history. The idea of history related to art history. About an art heist, that's really cool. Shoot. But it's really hard because I struggle with nonfiction. I have lowish expectations. It means it could still like blow my mind. But I'm more excited if this is written in an exciting way. If this is not written in an exciting way and it's just like boring and stale, which are a lot of nonfiction to me is, I have to put it in low expectations. Okay, we have a couple left. A Great Marriage by Frances May. I'm not going to be honest. Not going to be honest. I'm just going to lie to you. Not going to be honest. Just going to straight up lie. That's something due to hype. Like, I keep seeing this book everywhere. And due to hype, man, you don't know. A Man Called Ov. I fear this is going to be a 5-star because I'm so heavy on grief. And this was a book that a lot of people identified with. It was turned into a Netflix movie with Tom Hanks, right? No, I'm not right. I don't think that's correct. This was turned into a major motions picture. I just feel like this is going to be a 5-star for sure because this was also recommended to me through my comments. But it is a book that I had known about previous. But I feel like it's just going to hit everything I want. Gonna be for real. Okay, next we have a psychological thriller called Don't Open Your Eyes. I love a good psychological thriller. Oh my god. I can't remember much about this, but I think this is about I think this is like a domestic thriller related to somebody who potentially goes missing. I'll correct myself if that is incorrect. I am gonna put this. No, yeah. I'll be fair. This is gonna hit like McDonald's. I don't know if it's gonna be a 5-star. I don't know too much about it to say it's gonna be a 5. The Girl in the Photograph. Somebody who watched one of my videos commented for me to read this. I don't know much of anything about it besides that the author is Brazilian. Shout out to you. Shout out to you. The person who commented was a Brazilian, and the person who wrote this is also Brazilian. The Girl in the Photograph. I studied photography when I was in college, and I'm gonna put this excited due to hype just because the only thing I know about this is a girl who commented, but she commented such a lengthy comment that made me feel like you're gonna comment something that's like true to whatever the heck you're getting from the vibes off of my video, right? So I feel like it'll be more personalized to me. Who knows? Blue Sisters. I don't know anything about this besides everybody likes it. Excited due to hype, and that's it. Let's go Bad Habit. What's Bad Habit about? Okay, Bad Habit is about commentary on, what was it? A commentary of a girl trapped within a boy's body. Believe this will be a trans story. This also even like sometimes you can just tell by the cover art that this is about to hit. I just feel like this is going to be really good. Want is also a story of story. It's nonfiction related to information around, I believe it's mostly women's sexuality. Okay, When we talk about sex, we talk about womanhood and motherhood, infidelity and exploitation, consent and respect, fairness and egalitarianism, love and hate, pleasure and pain. And yet, for many reasons, some complicated, some not, so many of us don't talk about it. Our deepest, most intimate fears and fantasies remain locked away inside of us until someone comes along with a key. Here's the key. Oh! In this generation-defining book, Gillian Anderson collects and introduces the anonymous letters of hundreds of women from around the world, along with her own anonymous letter. Want reveals how women feel about sex when they have their freedom to be totally anonymous. Oh my god. Dude, that's actually really crazy if I were to think about it in depth. How would I talk about sex and think about sex if I was completely unfiltered and not beaten down with a hammer by religious trauma? How would that happen for me? 5-star for sure. Like, next we're gonna have 14 days. 14 days. This is a Margaret Atwood story, along with something else. Preston, what's his name? I forget. I want to put this up in 5-star for sure. No, I'm gonna put it in 5-star for sure. Margaret Atwood. Sherry LaPena, she didn't see it coming. Anything by Sherry LaPena is gonna be chef's kiss. I've never done that before. I never will do that again. Wow. This is about to hit like McDonald's. It's about to hit like McDonald's. Okay. People like us. Not even gonna lie. Not even gonna lie. Lowest expectations. Same with Tio Erskine. A man in his 30s has moved on from childish things. He has a good job, a slick apartment in London, and when he heads back to the suburbs on the occasional weekends to visit his friends, he makes sure everyone knows he can afford to pick up his tab. Oh, so whatever. Seems like he gets involved with a girl. Not gonna lie, I just read back the description and I think it's gonna have low expectations for me. I can't really see that hitting like McDonald's, but I don't want to take it off my TBR. Ooh, the drama of being a child. This was actually recommended by Alex Michaelides. I was listening to one of his interviews and he said that this was a phenomenal book. I think this is related to the psychology of growing up as a child and what to look out for in different things related to childhood development. This is about to hit like McDonald's. I've been reading so many things about nonfiction related to child development. Last one we're going to do is Emperor of Gladness, but A Glimmer of Death, I think, is a mystery thriller. I have low expectations for it. I put on my TBR like a year ago and I cannot remember what the heck. And one day everyone will have, what is this? Everyone will have been against this. I believe it's nonfiction commentary and related to stories of how we think about trends, how we critique certain things in society, how all of those things interact. I'm gonna say it's gonna hit like McDonald's. Oh, we got a second row opening up, but how could we not? Emperor of Gladness. I read the small amount of I read a little bit into this and I think this is gonna and can I say that it's going to be a 5-star for sure? I can't say that. So I have to say this is going to hit like McDonald's. Okay. There we go. There she blow. This is fairly accurate to how I even rate books. A small amount of 5 stars actually like collect, and then everything related to like a 3 to 4 star is what is hits like McDonald's. Like I read pretty decent books that align with my taste most of the time. And then excited due to hype, like that's a lot of how we all find books is like this book is talked about a lot, you know? Books I have low expectations for. are also kind of exciting because sometimes it's nice to go into book being like, I have no idea what I'm expecting, and then you come out with your favorite book. Wherever you are, whoever you are, whatever you're doing, whatever time of day it is, I hope you have an amazing morning, afternoon, or night.